And a good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to Hurricane Field for this evening's non-conference men's soccer matchup featuring the visiting Eagles from Pensacola Christian College taking on your Georgia Southwestern State University Hurricanes. At this time, let's introduce you to the starting 11 for both schools. First, let's meet the visiting Eagles from Pensacola Christian. Number 1, Jake McClellan. Number 0, Adam Lund. Number 4, Clint Peterson. Number 8, Paul Stewart. Number 9, Riley Buholski. Number 12, Nick Standridge. Number 13, Hayden Hoffman. Number 15, Travis Rose. Number 17, Jason Upchurch. Number 19, Colton Hawks. And number 20 is Jonathan Mendez. The head coach of the visiting Eagles is Joseph Lewas. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starters for your GSW Hurricanes. A 6'4" junior from Hanover, Jamaica, number 7, Rashad Buchanan. 6'3" junior from Hanover, Jamaica, number 1, O'Neal Lewis. 5'10" senior from Porto Alegre, Brazil, number 5, Rafi Faria. 6'3" freshman from Burlington, Ontario, Canada, number 6, Cole Davison. A 5'7" sophomore from Danielsville, Georgia, number 14, Adam Jackson. 5'9" junior from Norcross, Georgia, number 19, Devin Monk. A 5'9" junior from Margate, Florida, number 20, Brian Zuniga. 6'2" junior from Lawrenceville, Georgia, number 22, Sean McKeever. A 6'1" junior from Green Island, Jamaica, number 24, Raheem Alcock. 6' junior from Atlanta, Georgia's number 27, that's Josh Mackey. And a 5'10" freshman from Perth, Western Australia, number 28, Sebastian Da Silva. The head coach of the Hurricanes in his first season, Eric Crawford, and his assistant, Eric Shepard. Ladies and And ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is Hurricane Match Day, final non-conference tilt of the fall. Tonight's visitors are the Eagles from Pensacola Christian College, coming in to face your Georgia Southwestern State University Hurricanes. Thanks for tuning in. Here we are live on our YouTube channel, GSW Athletics, the home and hub of the Surge Sports Network. Just underway, and we've got all kinds of information to share with you on both of these schools tonight. Second meeting all time between the Eagles and Hurricanes. It all started last year down in Pensacola. A couple of late scores gave Georgia Southwestern a 5-3 win. And the Eagles looking for some vindication tonight here on Hurricanes home turf. We'll see what happens. The Eagles come in with an overall record, as you see on your screen, just under the scoreboard. They're 9-5 overall for Pensacola Christian. Georgia Southwestern, well, their record's 3-6. GSW electing to go with their dark navy Adidas kits tonight. A little yellow trim across the back of the shoulders. Some yellow trim around the socks, but primarily those blue collegiate navy Adidas kits. But thankfully for our viewing audience, wonderful, bright, big, large white numbers on the back, so they're real easy to follow, and that way you can track your favorite player out on the turf. A quick punch. Gonna have a look. This one deflected nicely off. I believe that was Mackey, number 24, that lunged back in time to prevent a shot on goal there. And Raheem Elcock with the deflection on that exchange just a few moments ago. Of course, Pensacola Christian in the white kits then to counter Georgia Southwestern. And as you've put 2 and 2 together, the Eagles are attacking from right to left on your screen here in the first half. First corner kick of the evening is up and underway. Softly in front of the goal and headed away. A couple of headers by GSW. Now it hits the turf. Final non-conference match of the season for first-year head coach Eric Crawford and the Hurricanes. Hasn't been a horrible run in non-conference play for the Hurricanes this season. All 3 of their wins have come against non-Peach Belt Conference opponents, and actually 3-4 overall in non-conference action. So see if they can even things up. Go even 500 in non-conference action if they can pick one up here against the Eagles tonight. Pretty high-powered offense for the Eagles, as we'll show you here in just a few moments as we compare the stats between these two schools. The Eagles been flying high offensively. They've got a ton of goals, ton of shots. They'd be up near the top of the Peach Belt Conference in many offensive categories. We'll see if the Hurricanes can clip the wings tonight of the Eagles, keep them grounded, and keep this thing a lower scoring affair than what Pensacola's been used to so far the 2019 season. Zuniga will stop it, make a move, fires one off. It just goes to the left of the post. That'll give us a chance to pull up those team stats. Let's compare the two. You see the records as we've talked about. Look at that, 44 goals for Pensacola Christian. Obviously, they've played a handful more matches than GSW, but in shots on goal, ridiculous, 124. And they've been accurate 59.9% of the time it's going on goal. Number of assists, you see, but they on the flip side, with that many extra matches, the opponent's numbers are a little bit higher as well. They've made a slew of saves between the pipes as well, and at a pretty good clip. That a little bit higher than Georgia Southwestern this season. That's a look at your team comparison coming into this one here tonight. We'll return to the action. You didn't miss much, as Pensacola just still working to get the ball up towards the midfield stripe after the goal kick.
Now the Hurricanes have something brewing. Here's the cross. It's going to get there. Moak with the score! And an early goal for the Hurricanes! Georgia Southwestern goal scored by number 19. That's Devin Moak. Well, a quick strike for the Hurricanes. Moak has the Hurricanes up on top 1-0. A nice feed in. I can't remember. Didn't catch. It was 20-something. I hate to give the wrong guy the assist. It might have been De Silva who fed that one in. I think it was De Silva that'll get the assist on that. And the Hurricanes are right back at it. Zuniga's in on this time. Here's the cross, the header up, and that was a bullet off the top of the forehead and up over the crossbar. So for Moak, that's goal number 6 of this season. The assist, if it is De Silva, would be his second of the fall. Now's a great time to put the plug in for the live stats. There's a slight delay between the action and when it actually goes up online, but if you'd like to click on the description of today's broadcast, the title, and that'll expand it into a description of today's event. And in there is a link for the live stats, so you can open that up in another browser in your window in your browser. And follow along your favorite team or player. I'll wait for that ruling to come through on the stats. I got to actually get the old phone out and take a look myself. Did not take long. A great start. Just what the Hurricanes needed to get a little confidence and have a little extra hop in their step out of the beginning. Let's go ahead and do a little deeper dive into Pensacola Christian. Pensacola, Florida, the location of their campus, which would make sense. They lost 5-4 on Saturday. That was their last match against a familiar foe. Talladega College was the opponent. It was their senior night. GSW has played against Talladega as well this season, and we touch on that here at point number 3. Common opponents include Faulkner and those tornadoes, those pesky tornadoes from Talladega College. Pensacola Christian, here's a shot, and that one is up and over the top. Pensacola Christian 0-2 against those two schools. GSW earned a split, and you can see the goal differential. Pensacola Christian was outscored 9-5 by Faulkner and Talladega, and GSW, though, a combined advantage in goals scored versus goals allowed against Faulkner and Talladega. 6-4 in favor, the scoring in favor of the Hurricanes, again, who had earned a split between the two schools, a win over Talladega and a tie with Faulkner. So that's a look at the Eagles. Pensacola Christian, the kick away. And Georgia Southwestern will turn and go on the attack. Corner kick coming up as Zuniga was trying to chase it down, and they'll get the deflection out of bounds, and the corner kick coming up for the Hurricanes. And way down there on the other end of the field is De Silva to take the Hurricanes corner kick. Kick away. Nice header out of the box. shot by Moak. What a save. Boy, that was a missile off the foot of Moak, and a heck of a job by Lund. Fully extended to bat that one up over the crossbar. Another corner kick coming up for the Hurricanes. Lund has played in all four, I would assume started all 14 matches. They do have a couple of other goalies that have gotten a little bit of playing time. Lund with near 900 minutes and another 100 minutes dispersed amongst two other goalkeepers. There's the feed. Ooh, good job there as that feed in. Hurricanes back on it. Moak will bring it down. Try to set it, give himself a clean look. Dribbles in, deflection off. Buchanan is up now in the attacking zone, and he'll charge in and see if he can find somebody to leave it for. It'll actually go right to Lund, who's there for the catch. Buchanan will have to hustle back. Well, we introduced you to the Eagles from Pensacola. How about a look at the Hurricanes and what's been happening for them so far this season? Their last time out was a Peach Belt Conference match here against Young Harris College on Saturday, a 4-0 loss. Second half kind of things fell apart for the Hurricanes, who played tough in the opening 45, and then Young Harris pulled away for the comfortable win. GSW on the attack again. Here's the nice feed. Defense does a good job to flick it away. There's the word I was looking for. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, the Hurricanes, all three of their wins have come in non-conference play. They're 3-4, a chance to even it up for the season with a win here tonight. And again, the only time these teams have met was last season, and GSW came away with a 5-3 victory. So that's a little bit on the Hurricanes in this matchup. Kick away for the Eagles. That's Davison waiting for it to come down. So move it back get it back in the other direction here. The Hurricanes. De Silva in the corner. We'll try to get one in there. It got actually bounced past the first defender, but there was nobody waiting in the wings for the Hurricane. We'll try to set it up again. Pensacola Christian nationally ranked in the affiliation, the NCCAA. I was going to see if I could find the latest poll, but the Eagles up near the top in that organization. Smaller Christian school affiliation there. Wait for that to pop back up on our screen here. But as you would probably imagine, in addition to the school and the spiritual element that would come with alluring being attractive for a potential student, obviously being located in Pensacola, Florida isn't a bad recruiting tool as well. Another shot by the Hurricanes. Zuniga wanted one. Couldn't find the back of the goal for that attempt. So GSW will set it up, and De Silva will march down to the corner. NCCAA is the National Christian College Athletic Association. Zuniga left-footed, not quite as much on it as he would have liked, and it calmly rolls right at the post, and another goal kick coming up for the Eagles. (6-1) the shot count at this point in favor of the Hurricanes. Little give and go. McKeever will take the shot. Ball back in play. Georgia Southwestern has looking to snap a two-match losing streak, which followed a two-match winning streak. So it's kind of a little back-and-forth affair here. The Hurricanes have been shut out in their last two contests, so they've already snapped that streak by getting the early goal from Moak here tonight. Pensacola Christian had won 4 straight matches before the loss to Talladega last Saturday. Nobody down there for Moak. He's going to have to do it by himself. He'll run out of real estate, and a goal kick coming up. Coach Crawford gives the word to a few of the players to start to warm up and be on the lookout to check in around the 20-minute mark. So the first wave of substitutions coming in a few minutes for the Hurricanes. Cool evening here in Americus. This is through. Zuniga's going to get a look with the left foot, deflected off. That was number 4 on the defensive side, Clint Peterson, the freshman, 6'1" freshman, did a good job to keep Zuniga's shot away and out of harm's way on the exchange there. The Eagles with a roster that's kind of peppered with folks from all over the United States. New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina. International flavor as well with Peru. North Carolina, Brazil, New York, Michigan, Tennessee, Caraco. Ohio, Michigan again, Argentina, Virginia, California, Florida, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. So kind of a hodgepodge of folks from all across the country on the comprising the roster for the Eagles. It's a good ball there, but it'll actually be defended nicely by Elcock. So for those of you that weren't here for the starting lineup roll call, we'll run down the starting 11 for both schools quickly by last name or number and last name, and we'll do it numerically. Starting with the visiting Eagles. Goalkeeper is number 0, Lund. Joining him on the pitch, number 1, McClellan. Number 4, Peterson. Number 8, Stewart. Number 9, Buholski. Number 12, Standridge. Number 13, Hoffman. Number 15, Rose. Number 17 is Upchurch. 19, Hawks. And 20 is Mendez. Head coach is Joseph Lewas. Starting 11 for Coach Crawford. The goalkeeper is number 1, O'Neill Lewis. Joining Lewis on the pitch. Number 5, Faria. Number 6, Davison. Number 7, Buchanan. Number 14, Jackson. Number 19, Moak. Number 20, Zuniga. Number 22, McKeever. 24 is Elcock. Number 27, Mackey. And number 28, De Silva. Current temperature, clear skies. Hurricanes are on the attack. Zuniga with a shot. Oh, just to the right. First substitution of the evening will actually go to the way of the Eagles. Number 6 is checking in. Nathaniel Young. Pensacola Christian substitution checking into the match. Number 6, Nathaniel Young. Young checks in, the senior, Goldsboro, North Carolina. Clear skies in Americus. Temperatures here at match time, 65 degrees. As this one wraps up tonight, we could, there's a very good possibility we'll be in the 50s. Cool evening in Americus. Coolest evening we've probably had all fall as we start to finally make our way into fall around here down in southwest Georgia. As far as the breeze, there really is none. We'll see if there's anything being reported. 44% humidity, winds west-northwest at 4 miles an hour, but the flags are pretty much draped down, limp, and still not moving at all, but the Another diving effort by Lund. He has stayed busy. March down to the corner. There's the kick. Hurricanes will get ready to throw in, but there will in fact be a GSW substitution. Just a little under that 20-minute intended time. Only one sub coming in for the Hurricanes. Checking in for the Hurricanes is number 11, Nick Moody. Nick Moody, the sophomore from White Plains, Georgia, makes his first appearance of the evening.
I bet the guy from New York, he's Italian, isn't he? The guy they have on their team. Oh,
Let's see. Let's see what we got.
Give me the last name.
All right. Hurricanes not happy with the offsides infraction there called on them. Yeah, well, that's good. It's as if it's daytime. The ball in for the Eagles. Moak is picks his pockets and temporarily has possession of the ball, but the Eagles converge. Looks like it'll still be a throw in for the Hurricanes on the far side. Despite the possession advantage for the Hurricanes, that's the thing. Just one lapse here by the Hurricanes, and this is a team that can score, as shown, and score quickly. So GSW may be in control as far as the, again, possession and stats here in the first half, but still one lapse, and this thing's all square. And that was the first time that the Eagles had the ball for an extended period of time down in their attacking zone, but now Georgia Southwestern's back at it. Here comes McKeever. Left to right, tries to bring it back in. Good job on the defense. Both teams wanting a foul. First it was Peterson that went down hard after doing a good job on McKeever. They didn't get a whistle. Then Davison got pushed, and GSW wanted a call. So both sides. Here comes Moak. Fancy footwork, left-footed shot. Goal! Number 2. Georgia Southwestern goal scored by number 19. Once again, Devin Moog. So Devin Moog strikes again, his second goal of the evening. And his 7th goal of the season. Fancy footwork for Moog to find the opening and pound the back of the net for goal number 2 in this one. GSW out in front, whistled for the foul. Eagles got it now. Here's the shot. Ooh. Curled actually back towards Lewis, who was in the right spot. Glad to have O'Neal Lewis back. Always glad when the roster is healthy. Matthew Sherry did a good job to cover when while O'Neal was recovering. But always good to be at 100% and full strength, and that's what the Hurricanes were able to do now with O'Neal Lewis back between the pipes. Here come the Hurricanes once again. Zuniga on the far side, trying to get around his man. Now he'll bring it in towards the goal line, but keeping it in are the Eagles, and they'll move it back towards the midfield stripe. Ooh, almost there for the interception, but not quite. A couple of subs. We'll have subs for both teams. Looking to check in for Pensacola is number 21, Daniel D'Souza. Hurricane still player is not out in front of our broadcast tower quite yet. I don't have a number for you. 21. Okay. Thank you, thank you. It'll be Caleb Zolman, the senior, when we come in. Okay. Which one? 8. All right. Also coming in is number 8. Oh, Pedro Chung. When we can get an opportunity here, Mr. O'Neal, the big boot. Well, yeah, go ahead. Well, we can stay with this. Yeah, we'll go. We're good here. A couple of subs. While the subs come in, I'll announce it for the crowd. Got an opportunity to look at the top performers coming into tonight's action. A chance to look at some of the stats, compare the two offensive leaders for both teams, as we'll announce. Substitutions for both teams. Checking in for Georgia Southwestern is number 8, Pedro Chung, and number 21, Caleb Zolman. Checking in for Pensacola Christian, number 21, Daniel D'Souza. So impressive numbers for number 1, Jake McClellan. Comes into play tonight with 15 goals and 7 assists. Wow, 37 points. That's impressive. And McClellan very efficient. He's got 35 shots on goal, as you saw on the screen. Moak entered with 5 as the team leader. Yet to get an assist, he had 9 shots on goal, so he's when he puts it on goal, he tends to score as well. And now he'll be, I don't know if he's 2 for 2 tonight or 2 for 3, but as you know, the goal tally now up to 7 for Moak, and points number 11, 12, 13, and 14. So Moak currently sits at 14 points for the season. Kick coming away from Standridge. He'll take it for the Eagles. Hand is up and approach, and the kick curling away from the goal. Or right of the goal, I guess I should say. Intercepted by D'Souza. Hurricanes look to push. Got to watch here because bodies are spinning and falling all over as we go down on that one. Both sides, and it'll be ultimately a throw-in for the Eagles. We'll send it down towards the goal line. Back up, popped up. Rashad spins it off the side of his foot and pretty much back where the last throw-in was. One of our cross-country ladies, the Lady Hurricanes, on the duty is retrieving the balls and throwing them in tonight. Keep the action moving on the pitch thanks to Coach McDonald and the Lady Hurricanes cross-country program. As you kind of saw through the course of play so far, the visiting bench is to the left of our broadcast tower and our main camera. So that voice coming from the right of your screen or in your right speaker, like Coach Crawford. There's a shot that's going to sail up and into the bushes. And the Leland Cypress behind. Substitution coming up for Pensacola Christian. Checking in for Pensacola Christian is number 10, Kendall Mullenix. Mullenix, 6'1" senior from Nashville, Tennessee. Corner kick coming up. Corner kick for the Eagles. I'm going to see who's taking that kick. McClellan, number 1. McClellan tries to keep it in, but is unable to do so. Would have been a heck of a nice play. Oh. And there's McClellan. Send it out wide. Got some space now to. And 2 defenders on the ball in a hurry for the Hurricanes. O'Neal comes over and catches it on the short hop. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Don't forget, fans, if you're not one of the 930 plus subscribers to our YouTube channel, now's a great time to click that little white GSW logo down in the right corner of your screen. GSW will get a sub in here. Number 10 coming in for the Hurricanes. Georgia Southwestern substitution checking in for the Hurricanes is number 10, Austin Martinez. Martinez, the sophomore from Palmetto, Florida. Depending on what kind of device you are on, you can also click the red subscribe button, but that way you can, if you so choose, get notifications of whenever the Hurricanes go live, so you don't have to make a note of it or keep an eye out on our Twitter feed or click off the website. You can receive a notification that we are on the air, and it's a good reminder to hop back on your computer or your phone and follow along. So, again, the best way to do that is subscribe to our channel. YouTube channel is GSW Athletics, GSW Athletics, the home and hub of the Surge Sports Network. Ball up for McKeever. Ooh, Lund gets him, but McKeever's going to have a second shot. No! Got a little excited and pounds it over the top of the crossbar. The keepers. Speaking of the goalkeepers, now is a great opportunity for us to compare the two fellas doing battle between the pipes tonight. Adam Lund. It's all right. Ball still up at midfield for a throw-in. You see the comparison there between the two, very even and close on the goals against average. O'Neill's minutes down a little bit from Lund just due to the fact that, again, he was out a few matches with an injury. So there's a look at your keeper comparison here tonight between the Eagles and Hurricanes. Yeah, you didn't miss much. Ball basically been hovering around the midfield stripe. But the Surge Sports Network broadcasting here on YouTube, home events for men's and women's soccer. We're just about to start up with men's and women's basketball, baseball, softball, and even some GSW Lady Hurricanes tennis coming to you from the courts this spring. So all kinds of live action on our channel, as well as some of the other pre-recorded clips that we'll upload periodically. You can always find the archive in our archives, our post-game interviews this year being handled by Christina Wells. So talked with Tina. We'll have another one of those shows tonight coming up after the action here at Hurricane Field. Still got a half to go, plus a few minutes here as Caleb puts it out there. Lund will come up and meet it first. Good idea, though. Pass in, shot just to the left of the post. Close call for the Hurricanes, and the Eagles thought he had one there. Who is that, number 9? I think that was 9. Yeah, I think that was 9 with the shot. If so, yeah. Biaholski, the junior from Monroe, Michigan, took that shot for Pensacola Christian. Oh, yeah. 1 minute remaining in the first half. 1 minute. De Silva. Pace picking up here in the final minute as the Hurricanes try to add to their lead. Gotta be careful though, because there's a wave of white jerseys making their way towards the goal. Good job to step in front of that ball by the Hurricanes, and number 27, Mackey. The march to goal, 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That'll do it for the first half of action. The Hurricanes with the lead 2-0 will be down on the field momentarily for the halftime festivities as we'll march the flag out. Our Two Dukes Barbecue Chipping Challenge coming at you here in just a moment. So with that being said, good first half for the Hurricanes. Of course, we are going to go to break. Got a few words and want to introduce you to a few of our corporate partners. We thank them so much for their support of Georgia Southwestern Athletics. Could not do it without the teamwork and the partnerships here with these fine businesses. We want to thank Zaxby's and Citizens Bank of Americus, Magnolia Manor, Phoebe Sumter, our medical partner, as well as Synovus Bank. So, again, a few words from our corporate partners. A little bit on the GSW golf team. There's some good news going around the golf circuit here, and with the Hurricanes in the athletic department, a little bit of news on them as this latest polls came out. And then you'll have a view of our halftime activities. We'll mute it so that we don't get in trouble with the folks over at YouTube. And you can set your clock for 15 minutes, and we'll be back here for the second half of action from Hurricane Field. Good start for GSW. You're watching men's soccer on the Surge Sports Network.
Zaxby's, there's nothing better than hand-breaded chicken, unless it's hand-breaded chicken with sauce. From sweet to savory, mild to wild, even that world-famous Zax sauce. Whatever you're craving, we've got the sauce at Zaxby's.
Here is where we're from. Here made us who we are. Here is where we learn relationships are worth more than dollars can measure. It's a value that grows over time, strengthens under pressure, and thrives when serving others. We're Synovus, and we're here for our community because we live here too. Synovus, the bank of here.
At Zaxby's, chicken and delicious go hand in hand, as in hand-breaded, hand-seasoned, and handmade to order. There's only one place you can get chicken like that: Zaxby's.
Welcome back. Second half just underway here. Great opening 45 minutes if you're a Hurricanes fan. Both teams and coaches have a chance to talk things through and make their adjustments and talk strategy for the second half here now underway from Hurricane Field. So how did things square up in the first half of action? The Eagles actually closed the gap a little bit offensively. Here's a shot. Hey, good start, as you could hear, or I could hear coming from the way of the bench. 15 shots for Georgia Southwestern in the opening 45 minutes, 15-8. Pensacola kind of coming on towards the latter part of the half. 15-8, though, the edge to Georgia Southwestern. 5 shots on goal for GSW, 1 for Pensacola Christian. Corner kicks, GSW with a 6-2 advantage in the first half. They were whistled for both of the offsides. That's the Hurricane side. GSW 7 fouls in the first half. Pensacola Christian 1, and 1 yellow card was issued to Georgia Southwestern. 2-0 the score, as you can see here, second half of action. What size you need? Medium. Large. Okay, you're welcome. All right, prizes are taken care of. All our chippers that you were watching at halftime as part of our Two Dukes Barbecue Chipping Challenge. Closest to the flag, and now they'll get a nice collegiate goal shirt to be a part of the goal force every Thursday, no matter where you are. Show your GSW pride. Moke slipping on the turf. Show your GSW pride every Thursday. Be a part of the goal force wherever you may be, whether it's an accent of some sort or a nice shirt, shoes even. If you're men's basketball coach Aaron Coombs, he has a wonderful pair of collegiate gold Adidas shoes that he likes to bust out on Thursdays. Ooh, the cross actually didn't quite get to the target as he was going far post. And O'Neal's there to intercept it. That ball a little bit more in the direction of the keeper, obviously. Every Thursday, Goal Force Thursday, so we're wrapping one up here. I'd say something, the initiative that was started this fall, and every week a little bit more and a little bit more. The gold is consuming campus. And pretty cool to see as you walk around from building to building here on the campus of Georgia Southwestern. Corner kick coming up, and Zuniga will be the one to run down there, far corner of the field to take it. Off in the darkness. Here's the line drive kick. A wall of jerseys there. Georgia Southwestern will set it up and try it again. We'll see if it's the same position or location for the ball, or if we'll go more towards the top of the 18 with this kick. This one about similar, a little bit higher. Line drive kick squirts through. Had a little bit more lift on that feed in, but it goes to the other side, and a goal kick coming up. Our next broadcast on the Surge Sports Network is actually supposed to be this Saturday. We'll see if that holds up Saturday is supposed to be a very wet day with that weather system coming in from the Gulf up towards southwest Georgia, and that's when it's supposed to smother us and be a pretty rough senior day against Young Harris. Again, our next broadcast will be the Lady Hurricanes, scheduled for this Saturday night, 7 o'clock, senior night. The men are actually wrapping up a 3-match homestand. They'll be at USC Aiken this weekend. And then no midweek game for Georgia Southwestern. They'll be back home for Francis Marion 1 week from Saturday. Only 2 home matches remain. The November 6th match against Flagler will be the men's senior night. So hard to believe, but only 2 home broadcasts remaining of men's soccer this fall. Georgia Southwestern, again, is sitting at 3-6 overall, 0-2 in the Peach Belt. Only 8 teams in the conference, so whereas the women have 12 and have played a significant amount of more games already of conference play, and they're having to play every Wednesday some sort of Peach Belt contest. The men are only 2 matches into their conference schedule. GSW and Flagler, the only 2 schools yet to win. On the flip side, Lander is 2-0. Clayton State was washed out, I believe. They're sitting at 1-0 with that 1 win coming against GSW. North Georgia's 1-0 as well. 3 teams even at 1-1. Francis Marion, Young Harris, and USC Aiken. Our opponent this Saturday. USC Aiken get a big win. Their 1 conference victory came against perennial power Young Harris, which is hard to believe. The Pacers 2-6 overall. Young Harris is at 7-3, but it didn't matter. The Peach Belt Conference opener goes the way of USC Aiken when those 2 teams met, and so GSW looking to compete well against the Pacers and see if they can pull out a conference result. Conference slate includes Francis Marion at North Georgia this Saturday, Clayton State at Flagler, GSW again at USC Aiken, and Lander, that's a big one, perennial powers. Lander and Young Harris do battle on Saturday in Young Harris. Look at your Peach Belt schedule. And we talk about, and when you showed the comparison of the team leaders, and you saw that graphic, no, you're okay. You saw that graphic with Moak and McClellan. As impressive as Jake's 15 goals are, he's not the only player on the team that has scored in double digits this season. Number 12, Nick Standrich, has 11 goals as well. You're right. Yep. He has 11 goals as well and 9 assists. So there's a couple of options there. Paul Stewart, number 8, has 8 assists, which is insane. It's some big numbers coming out for the Eagles. They're still looking to get on the board here tonight. Corner kick for Georgia Southwestern. Now, a couple of subs in the first half for Georgia Southwestern, but the Hurricanes not particularly deep. And they aren't carrying. Ooh, on the attack, running kick up and over the crossbar. But just not not that there aren't guys that come off the bench. Well, there aren't guys to come off the bench. It's not a big roster. They're not carrying a lot of players this year. And I've had a few guys with the changeover in coaching staff have decided that they wanted to move on and didn't want to play. So this roster is not big. And so Coach Crawford has had to ask a lot of guys to play a lot of minutes. And we'll kind of break down a little bit of that. It's not all about the goals and the assists, but there's some guys that have logged a whole lot of minutes and been cornerstones for the Hurricanes on the pitch this season. Kick coming up for Georgia Southwestern here. Probably about 5 yards out from the 18-yard box. Kick is away. Tries to curl it in. The defense is there before it can even get to the keeper. It's all right. Yeah, so let's take a look as they're going to track that one ball. A couple of balls went out in a row on that side. So how about it? Who's up near the top for the Hurricanes? Well, mentioned his name a few times tonight. Number 24, Raheem Alcock, 775 minutes. He has played in every match, started all but one. And again, Alcock with 700. Here we go inside. Ball bouncing around. Georgia Southwestern recovers. Kick deflected again. Back up. Right behind Alcock, who would we have next on the list as far as minutes? Cole Davison, just a few minutes behind at 773. Again, a starter in all of the matches so far this season. A couple of shots on goal, but not something that Cole is particularly asked to do a bunch of. Behind Davison, next in minutes is Rashad Buchanan. Again, another backline guy, 765 minutes for Rashad, and he has started every match so far this fall. Who else we got up there? Da Silva, the freshman, 761. So there you see four guys right there that have been just within a few minutes of one another, approaching, well, now they'll be eclipsing 800 minutes so far this season. GSW has only played a cumulative 827, so that gives you an idea of how little these guys have been off the pitch so far this season. 828 minutes total of playing time for the Hurricanes this season, and these guys are up just shy of 800 coming into play tonight. O'Neal comes up to get that one. Here comes Zuniga. Will he get a chance to, oh, gets a little separation with a push and contact, but goal kick. Coach Crawford not happy that that one was not whistled for a corner kick. Have to go back and see how that one played out. Hurricanes will back it out before they make their next move in. Corner kick coming up. So Zuniga will take the kick for the Hurricanes as he sets the ball up. Last two attempts were more of a line drive kick. This one will, in fact, not get the air as the other two, and one hops into the wall. He'll take another stab at it and try to get it in there. Squirt one through, but it doesn't work out. We'll bring it back out, and GSW will set it up again. Eagles waiting for that one to come down. Pretty good pressure from Martinez to disrupt things a little bit. The Eagles scrambling to get it back around and over the midfield stripe. Davison out on the far side. Now he'll send it down. A little too much juice on that one. Throw in coming for the Eagles over by the light pole. Left-footed kick. Wide left. See some blankets over there on the cold, on I'm sure are very chilly metal bleachers now this time of night. Kind of a spattering of folks around the facility. Some are up on the berm behind the Hurricanes goal. Some in the bleachers, huddled up near midfield. Got a car full, a truck full, just down from the Pensacola bench on that particular berm with their camping chairs out here on our tower side of the field. About the only side of the facility that doesn't have a fan presence is the goal line side. The Hurricanes are attacking right now. Nobody on that end behind that goal. Up and over. And the cross-country girls got a hefty jog to go get that one as it went up over the protective netting behind the goal and into the trees. Lady Hurricanes having a good showing on the cross-country side of things this year. Won their first ever meet. Had a, they always enjoy making the trip down to Tallahassee for FSU, Florida State University's cross-country event. Get a chance to race against some of the big dogs. You got Florida, USF, or South Florida, Florida State. UCF is there, so kind of neat for our girls to get a chance to run against some of the some of the best in the country. Division I level. And they got the big Jumbotron and all kinds of fancy gadgets monitoring their times and paces throughout their race. Live stats. Here comes Davison. Davison will feed it off to Moku. Just out in front. Hurricanes still have it, though. Ball in front. Header by Davison. Save. Follow up, no good. Couple of great stops by Lund for the Eagles. Boy, he single-handedly made the stops there to keep GSW off the board. Davison with a beautiful header and the save by Lund. Follow up by Moak, no good. Hurricanes will have to get it back and go at it again. Still 2-0 in this one. Ball in, headed up, comes down to the Hurricanes. Now back outside, and it'll be a throw-in, quick throw-in for the Eagles. Couple more subscribers tonight. Thank you and welcome aboard. Hope you enjoy the ride on the Surge Sports Network. Probably a little warmer wherever you're watching tonight's event, but I tell you what, this is kind of a welcome cold. I think a lot of folks here are just happy to have a sense of fall finally. The cross squirts through. Kick it away. McClellan will have it. Let's see what's on the docket for the Eagles coming up. I think I still got their page. If I'm not mistaken, at one point the Eagles were, yeah, there we go. The Eagles were number one. Let's see. Division II men's soccer, yeah. Pensacola Christian, number one, ranked number one in NCCAA. So good, successful program coming in to take on the Hurricanes tonight. And of course, in addition to being a fairly reasonable trip, opportunity to take on someone that'll push them and challenge the Eagles so they get ready for their postseason pursuits. Caleb Zolman looking to check back in here at the next opportunity for Georgia Southwestern. Four 4-0 in their conference for Pensacola Christian. Played St. Leo to a 2-1 match. That's St. Leo Division II. Good program there. And Pensacola Christian holding their own against St. Leo. This one back to the middle. Nobody there. Have to take it out wide and turn it around, try to bring it back in. Fans getting a little loud and cheerful on the other side, rooting on the Hurricanes in that pack of ladies on the other side. Hard hit to O'Neal, who bats it down, picks it up off the bounce. A win over Point University. That's another good win. That's a team that's gone back and forth with the Hurricanes over the years. They've had our number too. Trinity Baptist, a trip to Jacksonville, Florida, awaits the Eagles. Noon Central start time, again at Trinity Baptist this Saturday for Pensacola Christian. Then they're home next Friday to take on NAIA program Georgia Gwinnett. Not a bad trip when they go to West Florida, also located in Pensacola. Pretty strong schedule for the Eagles. Subs for both teams. Number 21 on both sides. Substitutions for both schools. For Pensacola Christian, it's number 21, Daniel D'Souza, back in the match. And for the Hurricanes, also number 21, Caleb Zolman. You see Zuniga coming off for a breather. Well, lots of ways that you can stay in touch with the Hurricanes, even though I mentioned only 2 home matches left. So what about when we move into the off season? Or just from day to day, you want to get your dose of Hurricane athletics? Well, of course, we're on social media, so we'll run down a list of those options here in just a moment. A couple more subs coming in. Number 22 for the Eagles. Substitutions for both teams. Number 22 checks in for Pensacola Christian, Lucas Sampaio. And for Georgia Southwestern, back in the match is number 11, Nick Moody. Faria comes out for Georgia Southwestern. So for those of you that might be an Instagram user, I've been having trouble with my Instagram today, but I don't think I'm alone. I think it's an iOS issue. It keeps shutting down, and yeah, okay. It's going around. Very frustrating. I was trying to upload some pictures of our basketball shoot up and in. Wow, squirts under the crossbar. A goal for the Hurricanes, 3-0 in favor of Georgia Southwestern. I don't know who got that one. 21? Georgia Southwestern goal scored by number 21, Caleb Zolman. So how about that for the senior Caleb Zolman? That'll be his first shot on goal of the season, his 5th shot overall, and goal number 1 for Zolman. Here comes a shot from the Hurricanes. Oh, just to the left. Moak wanted the hat trick. Couldn't quite get it to go down, and so GSW will look to its bench. Checking in for the Hurricanes is number 13, Grant Auer. Auer, the freshman from Columbus, Georgia, coming in. Comes to the other side. Hurricanes try to flick it up in the air. Bouncing away. Davison can't punch it in. Ball's loose, kicked away. Whew. Well, while we have a breather, let's actually talk to you about some social media. Again, Instagram, I talked about, I was rambling on, but GSW Hurricanes is how you can find us on Instagram. GSW Hurricanes, as Pedro Chung checks back in for Georgia Southwestern. You can also find us by that same GSW Hurricanes on Facebook. So that's pretty easy to remember, right? GSW Hurricanes, all together, all one word, Facebook and Instagram. Shot fired! Keeps it on the ground, and Martinez takes a crack at it, but he can't break through. Hurricanes on Facebook and Instagram. You've already heard about GSW Athletics for YouTube. Keep that in your mind because you can also find us on Twitter at that same address. GSW Athletics is our handle. GSW Athletics on Twitter. So just, if you don't follow or you're not a fan, subscribe to at least one of our social media streams. It's a good way to stay in touch and get the behind-the-scenes stuff from the Hurricanes throughout the course of the school year. Georgia Southwestern Men's Soccer also has a Twitter account. Just do a search for GSW M Soccer, and you'll come up with that. The Hurricanes, I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, GSW_M Soccer will get you right to their page, but you can do the search as well. And that way you stay connected to the team throughout the course of the year. Just under 15 minutes to go as we are actually approaching 14 minutes now on the clock. Hurricane lead. Largest margin of victory for Georgia Southwestern is 4 goals. They had a 6-2 win against Talladega. Again, a common opponent between these two schools. Hurricanes now with a 3-goal advantage in this one. Here come the Eagles trying to get on the board. Bouncing around, flicking it through, kicked away. Ooh, just, it was a good idea. Just off the side of the foot, flicked it out to Moak, but it just, or actually to Moody rather, who has it now. Lots of dribbling, trying to get around. He got around one man, couldn't get around two. Throw in coming after all of that work, and it'll go to the Eagles. A quick whistle and change of thought. Get to the Hurricanes. Ooh. I wonder if that one might have slipped out of his hand. Popped right up in the air when it left. Might have been a little moisture on the ball that caused that one to slip away. Substitution awaits. Number 6 looking to check in for the Eagles. The next opportunity, that's Nathaniel Young. He saw some action in the first half as well. Foul on the Hurricanes. Kick is away. Nice ball. Moody's, or actually was that Elcock was the one that was back there for it. Brings it back to the middle. Got to get through a couple of blue jerseys to get free. Foul on the Hurricanes. Well, if this result holds for GSW, it's a good win against again, as I've mentioned, a team that has fared well against similar opponents and some strong Florida programs that they've taken on and played a lot tighter than this one. And so this is a good effort and a good show, even though you wouldn't know it from the way Coach Crawford is giving it to the guys right now. Substitution, there it is for the Eagles. Checking back in for Pensacola Christian is number 6, Nathaniel Young. Hurricanes did get their first, well, I believe it was the first in school history. First hat trick came last year against Shaw. Moak had his eye perhaps on one earlier in the match. Still going to see. I don't think Moak is. Moak isn't on the field right now, so he had a look earlier to try to get number 3. Couldn't do it, but not something that's been accomplished, or has only been accomplished once in program history. Again, that was against Shaw last season. Oh, speaking of which, there's Moak waiting to check back in. And he is going to get in the match right now. Back for the final 8.5. Checking back in for the Hurricanes is number 19, Divin Moak. McClellan coming in. He's been held in check tonight. Corner kick coming up. When nothing was there, good work by McClellan to kick it off of Auer. And at least give the team a shot with a corner kick effort here. GSW won that match against Shaw last year 8-1. Tiago Elias was the player with the hat trick for the Hurricanes. Interestingly enough, 2 of the goals scored by Elias came off of assists from Devin Moak, for whatever that's worth. Kind of an interesting observation. Shot! Wow, what a shot! And Lewis with an impressive save. Woo, keeps the Shutout alive. A good look from the Eagles on that kick. Ooh, collision. Moody brings it over to De Silva. Double team, or two men there anyway. De Silva. Service in, kicked away. Followed up with the header. Georgia Southwestern to look to make a substitution. Number 3, Giovanni Laris waits to get in. We'll see if he gets the opportunity as we approach 3 minutes to go in this one. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the clock will stop if the Hurricanes get the sub. They'll pull him back, so Giovanni pulled back, won't get a chance to go in here. This is just going to be 2 minutes on the clock now. By the time he would get a chance to go out there, and Hurricanes happy just to keep things moving and run off these final few seconds to help improve their record to 4-6. 4-4 in non-conference action. Following the Eagles right in front of the broadcast tower. I'm not thrilled with the call from the official. 9-6 record will be what the Eagles will leave town with. Final 90 seconds. Make sure you stay tuned for our post-match show. Talk with Tina. Christina Wells will have a word with our head coach Eric Crawford, member of the GSW soccer team as well. Break down in today's match with the Eagles as we count down that final minute. 1 minute remaining in the match. 1 minute. If you stick around for that, it'll probably be about a 5 to 10 minute break before we get them up to the tower to talk. But if you leave this window open and we go off the air, as soon as we're back on, it should spin right back. The wheel will start spinning and you should be back on and able to watch along with us. Otherwise, as soon as we wrap up the broadcast, this one goes into the archives and it'll stay unlisted. Clock stops with 26 seconds. Trainer being called on. Bryce Lawson going to check in on the injured player. Actually, this is just going to change. We'll go to the Vinny. Yeah, you can put that up. As they check on the injured player, wanted to give another congratulations and inform you of some good things that are happening in the golf program. You saw the clip at halftime, number 2 in the country in the latest Golf Stat computer rankings in NCAA Division II. Hurricanes with 1 tournament win as a team. They've finished in the top 4 of all 3 of the events they've played in this fall. And this guy right here, Vincent Norman, has been amazing. He won the first 2 tournaments of the year, individual medalist. Dipped all the way down towards, I think he was in the top 20 of this last tournament, +1. And there was a slew of guys at +1, so that and an even par, so that's what kind of expanded things a little bit. But 2-time golfer of the week. Now his latest reign as the golfer of the week just came to an end as a new golfer of the week was announced every Thursday. So his latest reign just came to a close. But 2-time PBC golfer of the week, 7 times in his career. 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 7-time Peach Belt Conference golfer of the week, Vincent Norman. That'll do it for this one. The Hurricanes win. Hurricanes win. We're going to get that going there. We're going to mute it for just a second. Hang tight. Going to mute it for a split second as we can let these guys go throw some victory balls. Hurricanes win 3-0 over Pensacola Christian. We'll be back in a moment for the wrap-up here on the Surge Sports Network. Well, for those of you still sticking around with us, we had to mute things out so we could enjoy a little Cool in the Gang celebration there. We don't want to get the folks mad with us, so YouTube. Let's take a look at your final stats in this one. The Hurricanes, again, 3-0 win. Just what the doctor ordered, a nice win here to snap that 2-game losing skid. So the Hurricanes now are 3-2 in their last 5 matches. Only 2 home matches left. This Saturday, the GSW men, again, as I mentioned earlier, at USC Aiken. And 1 week from Saturday, our next home broadcast here on the Surge Sports Network. Coming up at 7 o'clock against Francis Marion. Quick look at the statistics. GSW 23-15, a shots advantage, 8-5. The shots on goal favoring the Hurricanes, saves even at 5 apiece. Corner kicks, lopsided 10-3 advantage for the Hurricanes. Offsides, GSW whistled twice. Pensacola Christian did not go offsides. Fouls ended up closing the gap a little bit, but GSW 11-8. The whistled for a couple more fouls in the match. Hurricanes once again improved their record to 4-6. Pensacola heads home at 9-6. We're going to go off the air. We'll be back momentarily for our post-game show talk with Tina here on the Surge Sports Network. Good night to be a Hurricane. Hurricanes win 3-0. We'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. You have been watching Georgia Southwestern State University men's soccer here on the Surge Sports Network.